What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another match preview. And what a preview we got to bring you today. Massive game this weekend. It really is at the London Stadium. Tottenham travel to the London Stadium, across London to the West Ham.
This is one away game I'm happy I'm not going to be fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
you usually have to take your binoculars and all that to the London Stadium.
It's the worst.
It really is.
Travelling there.
We usually get away with a win, though, so it does make up for it. It does make up for it.
But I just hate the viewing. I hate being in the stadium. I hate travelling to the stadium. I hate leaving the stadium. I hate everything about that stadium. I'm so happy we never got that bid. We never won the bid for that.
Yeah, so am I. But look, what a game this weekend. It's potentially season-defining game, isn't it?
Very much so. Very much so. I really believe that if we lose this game, it really could be over for us in terms of the top four. It's that that much on a knife edge. Obviously, mathematically, it will still be possible, but you just got to think about the amount of teams between us and fourth place right now. We're sitting in ninth. Obviously, it's still very tight in terms of points and a run of wins, and you can get up there. But if we do move 9 points away from West Ham, even with a game in hand, that almost starts to become insurmountable. And you almost need to have a perfect record from now to the end of the season to reach that top four. And it becomes increasingly unlikely. If we do get the win, then it's all to play for. We'll be 3 points behind with a game in hand with a much better goal difference. So it really is on tenterhooks in this game. It really is a fine line. And West Ham in great form. They're going to be full of confidence going into this. But we have to show that we're a different team after the really hard run we had. We broke that sequence of defeats against West Brom. We have had 2 defeats since then, but there has been, I've seen a bit of a difference, a bit of a change since the West Brom game. And ever since Kane's come back into the team, we've approached games differently. We've kind of set up differently. And it's leading to a much more fruitful attack, I feel, for us. So we have to try and emulate that.
I mean, in your whole Spurs supporting life, have you ever remember coming into a game this far behind West Ham so far into a season? I don't think it's ever been the case, ever.
Yeah, I don't think it has ever.
So you got look, at the end of the day, as much as I hate him, you got to give him credit for the way they're playing this season. You got to give Moyes credit for the way he's turned it around at West Ham, because they were a lot of teams' favourites for the drop. Both of us put them favourites for the drop in our pre-season predictions and all that. So you got to give him credit, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing really well. Moyes is doing a really good job. He's converted Antonio into a really good Premier League striker now. You've got to say that at this point. He's consistent. They've played this really good counter. They've got a few systems they can play, and they're pretty equally adept at all of them. They can play at 3 at the back. They can play 4 at the back. Either way, they've got a lot of pace on the counter. They're pretty solid at the back. Soufal's been a great addition for them. Yeah. The midfield pivot of Rice and Souček have been imperious for most of the season.
He's like the new Fellaini, isn't he, Souček?
Yeah, and from set pieces as well. They're so strong. They get a lot of goals from set pieces. And they're just they're a very, very dangerous team who are on good form. And we got to watch out for them. They've got a lot of quality. Lingard has come in and done really well for them as well past few games.
Really hit the ground running. And what's more impressive about that is just he hasn't played football in so long. And he's just come in, just hit the ground running, 2 goals in his debut.
Seems like he's got a point to prove.
Yeah, seems like that.
Yeah, and he's doing really well at the moment. Bowen is a really good option for them on the counter attack, and then they've got a few bits of technical quality in Benrahma, in Lanzini, in Fornals. They got some really good players.
Don't mention that name, Lanzini, to me.
Oh God, yeah, I know he always scores against us every single time. So look, we've got to be wary of them. We have to be obviously very, very wary of their strengths, but we have to be able to use our own strengths. We have to be able to say Ndombele, they have to watch him, you know what I mean? We have to make sure our players are performing to their utmost.
In the past, a lot of games this season against kind of opposition, which you would say that we're better than, we've kind of said about Jose Mourinho how he shows a bit too much respect to the opposition in some cases. Do you reckon he's going to do that again this weekend?
It's hard to know. It's hard to know. I hope that we try and be more on the front foot in this one and attack like we attacked away Everton, although we gave away 5 goals, but we don't want to do that. But we definitely want to be as dangerous as we were in that game, as we attacked as we did against West Brom. Like have a lot, try to create chances. But I think we need to win this game. We need to realise that we actually have to win. A draw, although if we draw, it doesn't knock us out of the race, but it's a big blow. It's definitely a big blow, and it makes it a lot harder to get there. If we lose, I think we're out. But if we win, we're right back in there, in and amongst it. It really is that important, especially with the run of games we have coming up with Palace, with Burnley, and then Arsenal as well. So there's 3 games you look at that thinking we could definitely get some wins there. And so I think it's imperative that we try and win this game and not just defend and then see what we can do up front. We need to try and create chances and win.
You talk about before how West Ham, they have a few different systems which they can play. How do you see them setting up against us?
Yeah, on the predicted lineup thing for opposition lineup, I went with the back 4. That's how I think they can do the back 3, but I think Masuaku is injured, so he's not going to be playing. So I don't think they're going to have a proper option on the left wing back. So I think they're going to go Cresswell at left back. But he's
having a storming season, Cresswell.
Yeah, he has been playing a lot of left centre back as well, and him from set pieces, he's got such a great delivery and he's got a great left foot on him. I think he's adapted well to his new role at left centre back, a bit like Ben Davies, but a much better version of Ben Davies in a way. But if they do play him at left back, he's definitely not somewhere where we can definitely exploit, because he doesn't quite have the legs he used to, Cresswell. I think this is how they're going to set up, because I also think Ogbonna, he's injured. And so he's not going to play. So that's another centre back who they can't. I'm not sure who they have in replacement. So I can see them going for a back 4 in this one. But either system they play, they're going to be hard to play against. It doesn't really matter. I can see them being hard to break down, and we just got to be so wary from set pieces, because they've got so many. They've got such a big team. They've got so many avenues. They've got Antonio, Rice, Souček, Dawson, who's also a great header of the ball. I didn't even change the keeper's name. I still got Edison there. Apologies. I should say Fabianski. But he's also had a good season, Fabianski, as well. And you have to say now, for a few seasons, he's been fairly consistent for West Ham, and he's been one of the underrated keepers in the league.
Yeah. So
look, they've got a good first 11. I think we have a slightly stronger squad, and I think we have a stronger first 11. But both teams, with their first 11s out, it's a close game. They've got a lot of quality there, and they've got a lot of players like Rice, who a lot of the bigger teams want. So it's going to be a very tight game. I can see that, and we just need to make sure that we don't let them settle in the game. We try and press high like we've been doing past few games and really hurt them, and take the lead as well. It's vital we take the lead in this game.
And obviously it's vital how defensively strong we're going to be with, obviously, like you mentioned, their aerial presence in the box at all kind of moments. So
yeah.
You saw in the last game how we were 3-0 up going into the last 10 minutes, and we ended up drawing the game. So concentration levels are going to be it has to be at a peak concentration levels this weekend. And
all their goals came from pretty much from set pieces, except for obviously that one from Lanzini. Also came from set piece, but it was obviously a crazy end. But even if you look back at their last few games, Sheffield United, Diop scored from a set piece. Crystal Palace, not so long ago, they scored from a set piece. Against Liverpool, I think they scored from a set piece. So they really are strong at set pieces, and you can see that Moyes' teams have always been strong from set pieces. Yeah. Always, they've always definitely used that as an avenue to attack, and that's been one of our big weaknesses. Maybe not so much recently, but definitely over the season, you would say it's definitely been a big weakness for Spurs. So we have to make sure we're on our guard. We're not. First of all, I think the most important thing is we don't concede too many set pieces, because I think every time we concede a set piece, we'll give them a chance. So we got to make sure we keep it to a minimum. And when we do if we do end up conceding set pieces, just make sure you're switched on. No one's switching off at all, and you just get to the first ball and make sure you clear your lines, because it's absolutely imperative in this game that we don't concede from a set piece. I think if we don't, we'll go a long way to stopping West Ham. I really believe that.
Having said that, and obviously seeing the team news for West Ham, Mikel Antonio, 50% chance of making the game.
Looks like he's going to make it.
Yeah, it does.
That's what Moyes said.
If he doesn't make it, how much of that affects West Ham, and how detrimental is that to them?
Yeah, I think it's a big blow. I think they need Antonio for this game, especially because they sold Haller, so they don't have a backup striker. They didn't sign any backup striker in January.
Who have they been playing up front without Antonio?
I think Bowen has been playing false 9, I believe, or 4 now is one of them. I think it's been Bowen, though, mostly. So it'll be a big boost for us if he's not there, because he offers so much. He's always a nuisance. Even if he's not playing well, he's a nuisance. He's just a big, strong, fast striker who pins you back, and he'll outmuscle any of our strikers. He's so strong, Antonio. And he runs the channels as well. He stretches our back 4. and he's good in the air. He can hold the ball up. He's improved that aspect so much since he's moved to a striker role. He can play with his back to goal and he can play the other way. So he really has become a very good Premier League striker. I'm not saying he's elite, but he's definitely 10, 15 goal a season striker now, which to have turned a winger into that is very impressive. You've got to say that on Moyes' part.
All started at the back end of last season. It was just goal after goal, game after game, goal after goal.
And he's carried it on.
Yeah, and he's carried it on this season.
The only thing stopping him is injuries.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a massive game this weekend.
But if he is not fit, then it definitely gives the centre backs a much more of an opportunity to push up and physically dominate whoever's playing in the false nine.
Well, we've waxed lyrical now about West Ham. I think that's about enough of that for now. But tell me about how we can get at them. Where's their weaknesses?
I think. See, they're a very solid team. They don't have many weaknesses per se, but I would say their left hand side is definitely one. Is definitely an aspect where you would think we can definitely get at them, because if it's Cresswell playing at left back, he's a bit older. So you definitely say, I think the pace in behind, if we can get Kane to hold the ball up and get runners in behind him, they're going to struggle, because I think Dawson, however good he's been this season, is definitely one where you'd think he can definitely be got at. Then you look at their centre mids, they're good. Their centre mids are good. Rice and Souček, it's going to be tough to break those down and get away from them, because they've been so good this season.
How good is this Souček? Because, everyone's talking about him because of the goals he scores. But how good is he actually in that centre midfield role?
He's underrated in terms of his ball playing ability. He's not the quickest, obviously. He's a unit.
Big lad, isn't he?
He's a very, very big lad, and look, he's been great. He's their top goal scorer. He gets on the end of things. Not only that, he gets assists as well. He nods things. He gets headers across the face of goal from corners and things like that. He's just such a danger. And obviously in open play, like if you've got Ndombele up against him, you would back Ndombele every day to get past him. But going the other way, if him making late runs into the box, getting headers in on goal, it's just Ndombele is going to have to track him all the way, or Højbjerg, whoever's on him, is going to have to make sure that he doesn't get space or time, because he's not just an aerial threat, but he's also good on the ground as well. Maybe not as good as he is aerially, but he's still a threat there. I
mean, for a big lad, he's got a bit of technical ability about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's decent. And also Soufal, I've been very impressed with Soufal right back as well. He's been very consistent and also a very big threat at right back. He gets assists regularly, and it's also their fullbacks have been very good. But I think we can hurt them. I think we definitely can hurt them on the flanks. We've just got to make sure. I think the only thing I worry about is our fullbacks. Because
well, there's not going to be Aurier there, and you're worried about giving away free kicks, so maybe that's a plus.
Yeah, you say that, but are we going to be able to threaten them going forward? We need to be able to have a fullback, in my opinion, that's able to overlap and join the attack. And with no Aurier there, and whether it's Doherty or Tanganga, they both haven't done that in that sense too much on that front. And with Ben Davies, the left back, having played 8 games in a row, I'd rather him play that role where he's kind of hanging back a bit when we get possession, and maybe Doherty or Tanganga get forward a bit. But that's what I do worry about our fullbacks. But if we can get a fullback to push forward, then on their left-hand side, I think we can get some joy there. I really do.
Well, that's what it's going to have to be, because Aurier is obviously not playing. So if it is Doherty, then you have Doherty on the right-hand side pushing up, and then you'll have Højbjerg kind of backing into a back three, and then the two other centre-backs can go a bit out wider.
No, I'm thinking more Davies hangs back. And then we
that goes into a back three like that.
Yeah.
So either Toby or Dyer will go across.
Exactly. That's what I'm feeling.
Could be either. Even Højbjerg can go in to make it a back five even.
Well, I tell you, West Ham have played 3 at the back, so we could go 3 at the back tomorrow. But then could be Davies the left centre back and putting a left wing back there. But I don't know if we would play there.
Well, without Reguilon, I just can't see that happening.
It's unlikely.
But look, what's your scoreline prediction? What are you going for?
And in this massive game where Mourinho knows that we have to get a win, off the back of a lot of rested players on Thursday night, I'm going to go for a 2-1. 2-1 Spurs.
Who's going to get the goals?
It's going to be a close one. I'm going to go with Son and Kane.
I think we're really going to shut up shop this game. I really do. I think Jose is going to drill it into them that no mistakes. We need to be defensively solid if we're going to get anything out of this game, especially from set pieces. So having said that, I'm going to go 2-0. I think Jose is going to pull out a Jose masterclass this weekend. And it's just imperative that we win this game. I cannot take anything but a win from this game. A draw's not good enough. A loss is detrimental. We just need a win from this. And I know it's usually West Ham's cup final, but this is both of our cup finals now.
I mean, West Ham would love nothing more than to knock us out the top four. Right? That would give them bragging rights for them for a long time.
But when you look at our form at the London Stadium, 4 wins in a row now.
Yeah, we have a very good record there. We do have a very good record there. So we've got nothing to fear. And we know if we play our best, we can beat West Ham. We know that. We've just come in wouldn't say form, because obviously we've got 2 losses and a winning in the Europa League.
A bit better.
But the performances are definitely, you can see an improvement. You can definitely see a bit of a change. And we just got to keep with it. And we just got to hope that in this game, if we do get a win, it could start a bit of a run for us.
I think that if Ndombele and Højbjerg can dominate Souček and Rice, I do think that we'll get a good stronghold in this game.
Yeah.
And I also, as we say for every Spurs game, the first goal is vital.
Absolutely.
I know it wasn't at the corresponding fixture at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I do feel like it's going to be this game.
Yeah, for sure, we're not going to let that happen again. We will not let that happen again if we do get in a similar position. Although, having said that, a couple of times we've been 3-0 up against West Ham, they've nearly got it back, and then they did get it back.
Yeah,
on that
Mourinho's first game.
And then one before that as well. Same thing, we were 3-0 up, then we conceded 2 late goals. This time, and also, 3 late goals.
Even on Thursday night, we were 3-0 up, and we could have gone back to 3-2. It was saved by the bar.
It's true. It's true, but luckily we were. And we have to just make sure that we are much more defensively sound and much more on our game when it comes to making mistakes, and we don't get complacent or sloppy. And it's such a vital game. It really is a massive game in our season. This could make or break our season. It really could at this current rate. Obviously, if we win, we still got to go on a run. But if we do get that win, it really puts us right back amongst it, and it's such a big game against West Ham as well, so crucial.
Not only does it put us right back amongst it, but we've got a nice run of fixtures now after this West Ham game, so it really could kickstart our season.
Yeah, that's what you got to hope for, and especially the confidence it'll give us winning this game, and maybe it could knock them down a peg or two, West Ham, if they do lose, especially to big rivals. So
I really hope so, man. Come on, guys. Everyone, spam the comments with positive comments. We have to get up for this one. We have to be positive for this one. We have to go to the London Stadium and take away 3 points. Let me know your scoreline prediction in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.